Ragu. There's nothing better than a delicious homemade ragu. Ragu sauce with delicious vegetables, wonderful wine, all from scratch, all made in your home with readily available items. What a delightful experience, my friends. Taste it. It's delicious. Go ahead, try a bite, my friends. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Sauce and Gravy channel. This is Johnny Mac, and today we're going to dive into a delicious ragu, my friends. Get ready, let's go! Alright my friends, let's dive into this wonderful ragu sauce. This comfort food recipe is absolutely simple to make. So we're going to start off with our vegetables. So we're going to take some onion, we're going to take a carrot, we're going to take celery, we're going to dice those guys up really nice and fine. This ragu comfort sauce recipe is just absolutely phenomenal. All the items are really readily available at any sort of grocery store. You should have most of these in your pantry. It's just a few simple ingredients, a little bit of time, and then my goodness, get ready my friends, an absolutely delicious ragu recipe. Perfect for the weekends. If you have a little bit of time, go ahead and chop up these items. Go ahead and make sure they're nice and fine. Roughly about an hour is all it takes to cook this. If you have a little bit more time, maybe 2 hours, even better. The more that you cook it down, the better it will taste and the more tender all of the ingredients will be. But this is an absolutely phenomenal recipe. Alright my friends, back to the old prep work. So we're hitting those vegetables. Previously we hit that onion. We used half of a large onion. You can use a medium onion if you like. It'll be roughly about 110 grams for the onions. Make sure that you chop these guys up to nice teeny tiny bite-sized pieces. You don't want any big chunks. You're going to want them to be nice and small. That way they'll become more tender whenever they reduce down and simmer in this delicious ragu sauce. Make sure you do wash and peel that carrot before you start chopping it up nice and fine. We're using roughly about 85 grams for the carrots. For the celery, use one large stalk of celery, or if you have just small stalks, go ahead and use maybe two. It's roughly about 45 grams. Make sure to discard the leaves, and watch this my friends, this is how you get rid of those nasty veins. You want to get rid of the veins because they're a little bit tough. You don't want to have a little bite full of that. It's a little bit harder to reduce that down in the sauce, so make sure that you get rid of them. You can use a potato peeler if you like, kind of peel them off, or you can break the ends as I'm doing here and just kind of peel it down the side and check it out. We're getting rid of those guys. We don't want that in our delicious ragu sauce, my friends. So now make sure you dice these guys up nice and fine, and we're using roughly 45 grams of celery. This, my friends, is the perfect at-home type recipe. So whenever you're at home, you have a little bit of time, this is a perfect recipe to treat yourself or your family, or hey, your friends if you're having your friends over. This is a perfect recipe to go ahead and dazzle them with a delicious, wonderful comfort food. This ragu sauce is absolutely amazing, and it's not very difficult to make, my friends. Alright, so the hard part's over. You can go ahead and stretch out, limber up those hands, have a little Gatorade. The tough part of the workout program in the kitchen is over. Now go ahead and crank up that burner to medium high heat. Throw in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, my friends. Check it out. Look at that deliciousness going on in. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of olive oil here. The rule of thumb is roughly about 1 tablespoon per serving size. There's roughly about 3 to 6 servings here. I don't want to go too overboard on the olive oil. It's better to have a little less than a little more. Keeping this at-home ragu style recipe very simple. I'm using ground beef. This is 93% lean. 250 grams or half a pound. A little bit of ground pork, 80% lean, so a little bit more fat, 250 grams or half a pound. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin the cooking process here. So we're going to start off with our beautiful chopped up vegetables. So we're over medium-high heat here. You want this to start off a little bit higher. You want to go ahead and sweat these guys down. We're going to go ahead and cook them down, make them nice and tender, bring out all of those delicious flavors. We're going to saute these guys, sweat them for roughly about 10 minutes or so over that medium to medium-high heat. Make sure you do watch it though. If the heat's up a little bit too high, definitely turn it down. You don't want to brown them. You just want to go ahead and get them nice and translucent, nice and tender. After about 10 minutes and those guys are nice and translucent and tender, go ahead and throw in the meat. You're going to want to take a flat edge spatula, start hitting it down into those guys, break them up. You want little bite-sized pieces. You want to break this down nice and fine. We're still over a medium-high heat here, my friends, so kind of break it down. You're going to want to cook the meat until all of the rawness is out. You don't want to cook it all the way through. You just want to cook it to where all of that raw look is gone, the redness is gone. You don't want to overcook the meat because if you do, then it'll be too tough. So what'll happen is you're just going to cook it slightly now, and then once we put in all of our liquids, then it's also going to cook for roughly an hour to 2 hours afterwards, and it'll become nice and tender. So you don't want to overcook it, just make it to where all of the redness is gone. And once the redness is gone, it's time to throw in a little bit of wonderful wine, my friends. Break out a nice dry red wine. You can use white wine if that's what you've got, it's okay. But here we're going to use red wine, 1 cup or 250 milliliters. Check it out. Look at that. Look at that going in. Cheers, everybody. This is going to be absolutely delicious. So the smell coming off this is absolutely outstanding. All right, my friends, so we're still over medium to medium high heat here. The goal at this point is to reduce that wine down to where there's no more wine in the bottom of the cooking dish. This will just take a few minutes to do, so keep an eye on it. You definitely don't want to walk away. So once the bottom of the dish has no wine in it, then you're ready to go for the next step. We're going to go ahead and take some tomato puree. So this is tomato puree. It's about 500 grams of tomato puree. Throw it on in, my friends. Give it a little stir. Incorporate it really nicely. You're going to want to go ahead and turn down the heat here a little bit. You're going to want to turn it down to medium. You don't want to burn this stuff. It'll be really thick, pasty. So at first, turn it down to about medium. Give it a little bit of stir. Well incorporate it, and the deliciousness is coming together, my friends, in this Ragu sauce. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely fantastic. For the next step, my friends, the goal is to reduce this down for an hour. As is, it's a little bit too thick. If you tried to cook this for an hour, it would definitely burn. So we're going to add a little bit of liquid. We're going to add some stock. You can use any stock that you like. I'm going to use veal stock. So at first I put in half of a cup or 125 milliliters of veal stock, incorporating that in, getting a feel for it. I can see that there's still a little bit more needed. You don't want it to be as thick as this. You want it to have a lot of liquid in there, because whenever this reduces down, it needs a lot of liquid to help kind of braise it and make everything nice and tender. So whenever you put this delicious Ragu in your mouth, it's just gonna absolutely melt. So for total, put 250 milliliters or 1 cup of veal stock. Like I said, you can use any stock that you have on hand. You can use chicken stock, beef stock. If you don't have stock, just use water. Why not? Go for it. So now we're gonna go ahead and put a lid on this guy. We're gonna cook it down for roughly about 1 hour. Definitely make sure that you give it a look-see every once in a while, maybe every 15-20 minutes or so, to make sure that there's enough liquid. So check it out. It's been roughly about 30 minutes. Still enough liquid. This is looking really good. Give it a little stir. It's bubbling away. This is perfect, my friends, over medium heat. It is simmering down. Look at that deliciousness just coming together. Oh, the smells. Oh, this is just absolutely divine. Throwing this over a little bit of pasta. Oh my goodness, my friends, get ready. It is an explosion of taste in your mouth, getting ready to happen. Oh, I can't wait. Everything looks good. I don't need to add any more liquid. We're looking pretty fine. But if your liquid has been too reduced, go ahead and add a little bit of water, add a little bit more stock, and you're ready to go. So now it's been 1 full hour, and check it out, my friends, bubbly deliciousness. Oh, it's tender. It's delightful. Look at it. Oh my goodness, those flavors, that color. This is amazing. Give it a dash of salt and pepper and you're ready to go. This Ragu sauce is a comfort food delight, my friends. With beef, with pork, simple ingredients. Throw this over some pappardelle. Throw it over a little tagliatelle. And oh my goodness, my friends, a taste explosion. Check it out. Look at the tenderness, my friends. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Please do leave your comments below. Love to hear what you have to say. And if you like sauces and gravies, whether they're savory or deliciously sweet, please do hit that subscribe button. There are more sauces and gravies to come. And remember, my friends, to live, love, and make gravy.